recorded. For the others, great. So we are live. I'll share the presentation again. So like this, okay, and we can start. So first of all, welcome for our next webinar. My name is Vlastimil. I'm the founder of Lead Speaker, and here together with me is Thomas. So who is in charge of the product, and he understands the technical parts, the tech parts sometimes, or often more than me. So feel free to ask really anything. I believe together we can answer anything that you might be interested in. Today, this webinar is pretty special. So today, we want to focus on, let's put it this way. We would like to tell you the story of ours, how we started as a Legion agency, what challenges we had, because we believe this is something that might be interesting or might inspire others, what to do about that, and how we get out of that, how we made sure that we don't have, well, no more this one-off customers, but more and more recurring customers. And I believe we might have some tricks that can help you out. Why we believe we understand a thing or two about this. So let me show you some big brands we've been working with. So we've been working with brands like Sony. We actually won not far away, not a long time ago, the automation challenge internationally by Groupon. So we do a lot in terms of automation, lead generation, integrations to another systems. But it always hasn't been like that. And we would like to show you our story and what tools we used, what worked out, what challenges we find out on the way, etc. So also, if you go and check our LinkedIn profiles, you can see that we share a lot of resources, different automations that you can just start yourselves. Very often we combine different APIs, different tools like N8N and different local tools. And we also share templates, how to do it. So go out, check it out. I think this might be interesting. So let's get back to our presentation. Don't worry, we don't have that many slides, but I believe it's nice to have some background. Hello, hi out there. So more and more people joining. Good. So guys, this is our story and the early challenges we had as a Legion agency. So yeah, Toby, do you want to add something before
I think
jump in?
we can jump in, and basically we just started with a lead generation in 2017, if I remember correctly, and basically you can continue, move to the another
Yeah,
slide,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, exactly. So just to give you some numbers, we've been in lead generation for 7 years. We work with over like we had definitely more than 1,000 campaigns, but like hundreds and hundreds of customers, like definitely more than 500, but many huge campaigns, big brands from the United States, from Europe, and also from the Middle East. Not that many in Asia or in Australia. So this on the next picture, this is us a couple of years ago. So we have been in the trenches, and we found a way, a path how to get out of it. Behind these nice happy pictures, there is actually a very sad reality. So we used to have like 40 people in the team, and fancy offices, but we are today here to tell you what were the challenges and what we did with that. So behind all of these happy pictures, there was the sad reality. So we actually didn't have recurring revenues, and all the recurring revenues we thought we had was sort of illusion, because as a lead gen agency, clients come and go. So they come, you work for them for a couple of months, and then if it works great for them, then they have too many leads, so they can be overloaded, or they just need, to hire more people, so they put you on hold. Or during summer, they don't want to run anything during the summer, so they put you on hold. So in reality, we actually always had to, resell. We had to always kind of close the clients again and again and think, okay, what we are going to do next, what are you going to do if this doesn't work. Then the reality was that outbound wasn't really working for everybody. So there are some clients for which don't have customers on LinkedIn, right, which is one of the main source. Or there were customers that needed something really special, or customers that don't have that many potential prospects all over the world. So you need to come up with something different. Or people who in general hate sending emails or LinkedIn's. So, but still they need to do sales. They need to generate leads. So we had to came up with account tracking, with monitoring of different signals, and then we just send notifications to to their people to do it all manually. Just call them. So there was always something, and as mentioned, just clients come and go, and it this actually means that the cost, like the huge payroll costs were always there, but customers were coming and leaving, and we always had Tom, you remember this, we always had too much capacity or too little capacity.
or
So
too
we
little capacity.
so
Basically, the issue that we challenge as a lead generation agency was the seasons. Because before the Christmas, everyone wanted to push the campaigns before end of the year, but over the summer or during the September and October, basically we had a capacity. For example, in peak, we were able to manage up to 120 clients. But basically, we hit this peak only twice a year, and the rest of the year we usually managing around 50 customers over the month. So basically, we just worked to half of our capacity, but still the payrolls was for us really same over the year, and we need to have this capacity prepared for the peaks, and it was really tough for the planning. Before we continue, I maybe will ask you,
Mhm.
is there someone who is managing at this moment some type of a lead generation agency slash marketing agency? Please, can you send some emoji here into the chat to basically know how relevant? Ah, thank you.
Mhm.
So we have one lead generation agency here only.
Yeah, Matthew. Well, these challenges actually apply for many businesses that are in the service. Yeah, no
Ah,
emoji. No emoji, not
no emoji. No,
not
oh,
available.
okay. So
Interesting.
that's really interesting. Okay. Ah, here is something.
Going on, but that was me. So it seems that emojis are not allowed.
So
A hand, raised hand. Okay, yeah, something is coming in.
okay, okay.
Okay, good. So I'll continue this. So the huge payroll cost, that's one thing, right? Because we really scaled, and we at some point we had really a lot of customers, and we were excited about how amazing it works, and how lead generation just works well. Another thing which was very messy was the tools. So Tom, do you remember
Uh,
we had like
basically,
50 duck soups, and how many plans of all the tools
uh,
for each customer, many spreadsheets, directories.
uh, at this moment, basically everyone that's starting with a lead generation agency, they have at least solved the tooling, because in 2025 the tooling is really amazing. But in time when we started, there was one or two tools for the mass mailing, that automating the Gmail, and was basically in a price range that we can afford for every client. Lemlist and tools like that does not exist. Basically, N8N does not exist. Make was on the beginning with the
Mhm.
first integrations, and also does not work properly in that time. So basically we just combine most of the things on m- different places, and aggregating data into Google spreadsheets via some basic JavaScripts, and it was pretty crazy. uh, Time to time, basically we just paid over 300 different licensees for the
Mhm.
sending emails, for the sending LinkedIn outreach, and etc. And this thing that we need to pay a lot of different licensees, bringing another problem for us as an agency in a scale, was basically when we have enough money in a season, we did not solve that much, basically the costs, because we was quite okay. But after that, few times per year, when we start tracking the costs, we just seen, okay, oh my god, we just basically this client ended 5 months ago, and we still paying basically his
Exactly.
Google Workspace, we paying the seats for the GMAS, we basically paying his duck soup and etc. And that was also a really funny thing.
So to turning on and off the seeds of the different tools was a huge mess. So we had so many, so many customers just who were not paying us, or we were on pause, but we still kept paying for the tools. So it was very messy. We had spreadsheets all over the place, and in general it was huge. It was basically huge mess. Uh, Also, the lead generation, as you know, doesn't work anymore as it was working some times ago. There was a couple of, just the economical environment changed, and we realized, and this was like kind of a aha moment. So we just need to be much more technical and much more creative, because the outbound alone isn't just the solution, but ongoing automations and data are actually very interesting. One of the biggest problem we had with our customers was that we didn't have something that we can provide every month, so like a value every day. So we had these huge large campaigns for a couple of months, but we needed to switch to something daily, like instead of a lot, in one of campaign, we had to switch to deliver something daily. But not it's not it was not only about the value being delivered daily, it was also about them seeing the value, the notification in Slack when they got the reply, for example, or getting the report, so they know transparently that something is going on, and making sure that the right stakeholders in the company can actually see that something is going on, even if the Legion campaign sometimes wasn't that successful. You as an agency still need to, they still need to see the value, even if this was basically market research, and you realize that, okay, maybe this is not the right target audience. So we kind of pivoted into, from an agency in general, to being a tech-enabled agency, and we really had to double down on automation and development. The team has changed a lot, so with more and more automations, we actually needed less people, but we needed more developers. So the structure of the team started changing very quickly. By the way, this was very difficult time, because sometimes it's easier to start from scratch a new company than keep changing everything what you've been, building up for years, right?
Maybe we should be there really honest. Basically, till 2022, we was really blind, and basically, we was quite okay with the agency business. But basically, after war at Ukraine basically started, and this movement basically influenced the whole market sentiment, and we just start totally struggling with new business in terms of selling basically lead generation campaigns. We had a team of at that time we have a team around 40 full-time people, and after that we have next 20 people on a part-time that are helping to preparing the data and etc. The good thing what happened also in 2022 is that basically OpenAI just come up with basically GPT 3.5, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, I remember because the previous version wasn't not good enough for us to do the work of the part-time people, so to qualify the websites and check the relevancy of the leads. So what really helped us was the 3.5 model,
and
which
and
was
basically
already good enough. Yeah.
we was in a situation we have two options. We just need to start doing something totally different, or we need to close basically the business. So we just decide to start doing everything totally different, and start building a new company from the scratch. And right now we basically our focus basically was, okay, at this moment we just paying this accounts for this amount of work, and we just need to pay also some data sources and data providers to get data from the LinkedIn and etc. And we just start thinking how we can automate that. And maybe basically last year here
Yeah.
you can continue how we basically started to pivoting.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, first of all, we started offering to customers instead of one-off campaigns, even if it was for a couple of months. We started with different automations, signal-based lead generation workflows, workflows connected to CRM system, tracking job changes. So whenever their champion moved to new company, they get notification, update CRMs, all of that things, which is always something that they want to run every day, or some automations like once a week, like in the long term. This was very important because then you can charge them on a monthly, basically, you can charge them to retainers. Also, we moved from outbound only to inbound because everybody's getting also inbounds. You need to qualify leads. You need to make sure if somebody comes to your website, you can follow up by LinkedIn, all of that. So we successfully reduced the headcount significantly, like by 2/3, and but we increased also the complexity of the tools that we've been using. Our workflows and tips and tricks were quite successful. So at some point we had like it was before the change of the LinkedIn algorithm. We had like 1,000 plus comments and 1/4 million impressions. With nowadays, it looks like a very simple workflow with embeddings and things, and very often with low code and ADEN. But it works out. But there were other challenges which while I go into at this point, Tom. I think this was the point where we won the Groupon. We
Mhm.
Yeah, so we won. So they had this automation slash AI challenge, and we managed to. So there were three categories. One was the automation of sales processes. The second one was focused. One was the freestyle, so just come up with something out of the box, and there was one third challenge which I don't remember exactly. uh, but the thing is, we won two of them. So I won one, Tom won the second one, and one guy from Google who was the lead developer at Google won third one. And then of course we met in one room at Groupon, and they hired him, and they've been asking us, so whether is our legion agency going to bankrupt that if we are not looking for a job. So but yeah, so this is how we won such a big
Uh,
account.
I will maybe add there. Basically, there was a question.
Hmm.
What is a time frame? Basically, this is a time frame, the beginning of a last year. So basically, January of 2024, if I remember correctly.
20 and 23, beginning 24, I think.
Something just like that. But when we switch a little bit different approach to the workflows, we just
Hmm.
find one way that we started really like, and that
Hmm.
was the recurring revenues. Because till this moment we just charging, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 per lead generation campaign.
Oh,
And
we've been charging much more, like significantly more. But the
it
thing is that there was a lot of people involved. There was the account manager, there was the data analyst. Somebody was preparing the leads, talking to the customer, and you do all the work, and then yeah, then they are gone. And if you do it really well, then they have too many leads, so they pause it, and they need to hire new people. So there was nothing like coming every month, and it was very unpredictable.
But with the workflows, basically, we built really basic scenarios, like when somebody like my post to write him message on the LinkedIn. That was a really common
Yeah,
scenario. The second really common scenario is when somebody start hiring developers and basically the matching some criteria. For example, developer is programming in a Python and Vue.js, so send them offer to outsource the development on an agency or offer them the candidate and etc.
yeah,
And with the workflows, we just start seeing the huge benefit that the people that asking for a workflow was thinking about the sales a little bit differently, and for them was more important the life cycle of a sales process that should be the sustainable and not to get the 40 leads right now and for the rest of the year do the nothing. For them, get the 10 quality leads per month, it was absolutely okay, and they was able to paying that on the monthly basis.
yeah.
And okay,
Yes, yeah. So I wanted to say like the biggest difference here was that instead of talking about okay, what is the amount of leads you will generate or do at the beginning, and they understood the timing is much more relevant. So for example, like this one, the social data tracking workflow was basically researching their customers every day and sending the notifications when there was some signal, and then even people who didn't like emails or LinkedIn's, they like this workflow because this is exactly where you are using AI not to spam people, but you're using AI to notify the salesperson that now is the good time to talk to this customer of yours because they mentioned just on social media that they're launching a new product, or so basically anything that signals that there might be a buying intent. The same applied for the other workflows. I think this one was monitoring the job portals, very interesting workflows. So this I think this was very interesting. So we managed to deliver something on a daily basis. They've been paying us monthly. This was definitely for us the turning point. I'll share with you the tool stack that we've been basically using for this. So if you have time, I definitely recommend to look at the community resources of N8N or make.com. Actually, I'm always trying to. We prefer N8N for our case because at some point we've been doing like a we have like hundreds automations running on, and you want to have a fixed cost with and then you pay well, actually at the time we didn't pay anything, so you have a fixed cost. It's open source. Make was actually have better, it was easier to start with, but then we realized that okay, but the more the more customers we are bringing, the more we need to pay, and we kind of stick with this tool. Also, Google Sheets, Airtable. Then you realize, okay, there is something like agents and vector databases. So you realize, okay, what is the vector database? And we started using, a couple of more advanced tools than just Google Sheets. And then, yeah, if you are in lead generation, you probably know some of these tools to scrape data What we disliked was that all of these tools actually, or many of these tools, they actually required, LinkedIn accounts, and we just couldn't risk our accounts or accounts of our customers to get blocked, and so we figured out a different way how to do it. From these tools, we really like Phantom Buster. We even tried to white label them into our platform before we realized we could actually build it. We got so much, so it got so complicated later on. So we decided to build it from scratch, and I believe we built a better LinkedIn outreach tool and email outreach tool that
No,
actually just works together. But we
n-
will get to that point.
not a
Also,
better, just
mhm,
different.
yeah, different. Yeah. So definitely, I think for many of you, these tools are quite, you might be familiar with them, but definitely look at it. It can help you to really move one of campaigns to like a continuous thing. So now the new challenges appear. So we didn't need to have that many people. We finally had something that is delivering value every day. We can charge people upfront to pay us upfront. So we had suddenly cash flow positive business model instead of waiting for the invoices to be paid. We implemented payment, basically Stripe, so they've been paying upfront, and we've been charging them. But we found another challenges. One of them was steep learning curve. And when I say this, it's more, so it was very difficult to transform this on other people, not only within our company, which makes it difficult to scale, but also on the customer. So there's so many things and tools, and it's getting complicated, too many things and API to connect. So we just had to really, um, basically the skills needed started to be challenged. Also to explain it, because many of our customers, they needed, you talk API and automations and what else, but they don't know what CRM system, for example. Another challenge was that the more automations we had, the more difficult it was to have it scalable, to connect all the different tools. Like I tell you exactly one problem we had when we run combined campaigns, email and LinkedIn. We just at that point we had to connect the email sequencers, LinkedIn sequencers, to make sure that if somebody replies on LinkedIn, then the email sequence stops. And this applies not only within one account, but also you need to blacklist the other people from other teams. So it gets very complicated, and if you need to connect everything yourselves, very often even with some blacklisting spreadsheets, it got pretty complicated. And yeah, and had not like a one-off campaigns. We had always on automations. So what's happening here is that when you're generating leads on autopilot, then it always happen that you can get a customer or potentially competitor into the workflow. So we had to use tools to identify, okay, this company might be a competitor, so it needs to be blacklisted, or this company is actually already a customer, so also needs to be blacklisted. Yeah. Fixed cost pricing versus usage based. Yeah, as we said, so one of the biggest problem we had was uh, that it was very difficult at the beginning to estimate how much we are going to pay, and even more difficult it was for the customer. So they've been asking us, okay, so how many credits when we, for example, so when we used Clay, which I believe is amazing tool, like you can really build everything, definitely the most advanced on the market, but we struggled to explain them, um, how much credits they will burn. We really didn't know before we tried. We didn't know how much email enrichment, LinkedIn enrichment. So it was really difficult to have a transparent calculation upfront. And yeah, the more customers you have, the more you pay.
And also, basically, when we was beginning with this approach, we also had some automations where we basically spent more than customer paid, but that was some part of a learning curve, and but it was also really challenging.
Yeah, for example, so at that point we started scraping LinkedIn ourselves. So when we realized that we monitor thousands and thousands of posts without getting any signal, so we got we pay for the cost, but customer doesn't see anything, and things like this. This next point, this is important, especially to me, distraction by all the new shiny tools out there. So uh, maybe Tom will be laughing, but there is always new AI agent, and you spend a week playing around this, and then you realize that it's overkill, and you might just solve it with something simpler for now. But if you need to make it more universal, then of course you can go for the AI agent. There is always new shiny tool, always new provider of emails, and
And we can see this still on a current lead generation sector, that every week basically they are the rumors this tool is the best because they just come out with some new type of email outreach. They just start using the shareable SMTP servers that they warming up by themselves. This is an AI agent that is able to find the leads much faster and etc. But by the end of the day, most of the tools
well,
will
you don't
find
know.
out.
Well, you don't know unless you ask the your partners, your community, the people who are doing who are in the lead generation with you. Unless you ask, because then you are just spending too much time really testing everything, and there is always like, okay, this tool can do 80% of what I already have, and there is just one simple thing, and you need to decide if you will be switching because of this one. There is always a better tool. This is what I maybe want to tell you. Yeah. So lead generation got much more technical and much more creative, and to make it really work, because there's so many things that just don't work, and people just copy some playbooks, but they don't work if you are not creative, if you don't really double down on the education. So we saw we need to double down on this. And also we missed, with so many tools, we kind of miss a transparent place, a dashboard where the customer can just log in and see everything at one place. Uh, so this is how we actually address these challenges. So I remember at this point we already were fine with the recurring, I mean, like recurring type of business. So I recommend this to all the lead generation agencies to come up with something that is, notifying the customer every day, something that they see value, even if leads are not buying every day. But we had problems, more like a technical problems, I would say, at this point. So the scalability and connectivity issues, we solved that actually with in-house development and integrations. So one of the things we really had to solve was the combination of email and LinkedIn outreach and blacklisting between campaigns. And also at that point, uh, we couldn't find, or maybe Phantom Buster was the nearest tool that can actually really, run a workflow on a schedule every day, because all the other tools, even including Clay at the time, was more like, you run all the enrichment at once, and then you get the results and campaign is ready. But we needed something which starts every day, does the job, decides what's relevant, not relevant, and then push it to sequence. Hmm. Mhm.
And basically, in a workflow, so with Phantom Buster, it was really tough. Basically, as a first to create the agent, after that, run the Phantom, after that, the parse the output, and utilize that somehow. But we worked with a Phantom Buster over basically 3 months, and we deeply integrated the Phantom Buster to our product. Basically, in meanwhile, we develop a basic email sequencer that we start combining into first workflows with a Phantom Buster. But we just realize that in terms of some type of a scalability, that this will be the issue, because in the Phantom Buster, we was able to manage the hundreds of clients, but every month we just increasing the costs for the Phantom Buster, and we just starting on $300 basically in a basic subscription, basically into more advanced subscription. But after that, we just ended up almost on 3,000 monthly costs or something just like that. And in that time, basically, as we really deep integrated the third party solution into our new platform, basically one time our CTO just come out, guys, okay, so at this moment we just spend the 3 months to integrating the Phantom Buster, and every week we just doing something new to basically work better with our rest of the toolkit. So what about to build own LinkedIn solution? So we heavily invest into this approach, and we was able to build basically our own LinkedIn solution that is able to track the likers, commenters, sending the outreach, and etc. But with, in my point of view, with a little bit better approach of the API, but also if with a little bit better approach and some unique approach also for the scraping data, and basically uh, keep keep your original LinkedIn profile safe.
Yeah, so we figure out a lot of ways, a lot of things while doing it. So not forcing customers to, use their account for scraping because they can get blocked. So we create simple API endpoints that can just run everything for the technical people in the API documentation. For the ones that prefer the interface, they can do it there. And I think the next point, the next bullet point is very important. Uh, so with the learning curve, it's getting more and more difficult, and you need to understand more and more things to make it really work. So this is the biggest difference. We realize that we focus more on partners, and if you explain how a workflow that is connecting to CRM system and doing some magic and then sending emails work, uh, if you discuss this with an agency or with integration partner or basically with somebody, then your knowledge actually gets transferred and they can apply it to other customers, ideally by using combination of our tools and also some other tools. uh, and we realize that we're talking more and more to partners, and we're also getting feedback on the roadmap and what is needed, what is actually missing on the market. And this is kind of important thing because you realize that these partners are kind of multipliers, and also they stick with you for longer, instead of explaining each salesperson in the company what is the difference between a cold email and newsletter and all of this. So we decided that we open direct communication with all our partners on Slack, and it's even like, hey, so this is my pipe, this is what they are telling us. So look, I have pipeline of these customers, they don't have customers on LinkedIn, so what I can do for them. And I'm like, okay, so let's connect Apify and scrape the data from maps, and then connect our robot that can look up the websites and get some more information. Oh, what is this? Some more information, or look up the people on LinkedIn from those companies, if there are some, and couple of things. And it actually is worth it. It pays off because these people stay, and you're not talking every single customer, but they always bring more of them. Hmm.
And we skipped a really important part of our life cycle, basically, of a company. As we mentioned, that we developed some type of our own LinkedIn outreach and email outreach. Also, as basically we were showing there the N8N workflows. We also redo the workflows that were most common, like
Yep.
basically when somebody open a job, when somebody mentioned something on the internet or on the LinkedIn, and etc. And we add everything into one platform. So at this moment, you are able to launch some workflow like that in 2 minutes, where you only prompt what you are looking for and how post should look like, and basically rest is done automatically on the background without any technical knowledge and without any technical skill, basically in Nathan, Make, or Clay, or any other tool.
So this is our next step in our evolution. Instead of setting this up for every customer, and every customer is different, we have out of the box workflow which are customizable, and we advise our partners how to set this up. We work closely with them, so we even tell them for this customer. You can offer this and let them pay you every month because they will get notifications in Slack. Or for this customer, mass mailing is not a great fit because they don't have that many, they don't have such a big total addressable market. You should monitor what they post. You should monitor these accounts, and whenever it's the best time, you just should reach out by phone after a salesperson got notification. So this is our next step in our evolution. And yeah, so basically this is what I wanted to mention. So everything what was kind of challenge for us in past, we and the knowledge we transferred into our new software. So we also give you the how to call it. So basically advise you on what workflows or what integrations you could use for your customers. So the way how it works is that you can charge your customer while you have fixed costs, so something like 599, and usually one or two customers pays the fee, and the rest it's goes to the pocket of the partners. And I believe this is fair because we don't need to. So all of our partners, they just stay. We don't need to face churn of small single users. Yeah, we all, even because we have own development, we offer unlimited email and LinkedIn seats. So it's up to you how many LinkedIn seats, how many LinkedIn accounts or email accounts you will charge your customer for. And if they come to our website, they never get as good price as through you. So this is very important. So, and also I believe we should have the best offer on the market. We are not forcing customers or partners to use their client accounts. So really, you can just copy. If you want to scrape something like a post, all you need to do is to input the LinkedIn URL or filter, and it just works. And you don't really need to be afraid that your account will be at any risk. And yeah, we have many out of the box automations and like monitoring posts, when monitoring competitors. Whenever somebody likes or comments something and is in your ICP, then it gets into, you get the leads, you get emails, everything. You can even transfer this into your CRM system. All of that. We're even monitoring job changes. So that's great thing that you can upsell to your customers, like whenever all of people have just outdated contacts in CRM. So this is thing you can sell them every year, and just update their CRM system, and then refresh it every month. For us, it makes a lot of sense because the ideas or feature requests we get from partners is something that a lot of people can use, and is something that if we implement, then we know that the other partners, like the white labeling option, really using. It's very different than if we've been talking only to like these single users. Then the development was going like everywhere. So we developed so many features that we thought is good, but at the end of the day, it was useful only for a couple of users. But now, if we know that we are focusing this way, it's actually really it pays off. So this is uh, this is how we work with partners. Uh, if you are just starting off, I really recommend you to go and study how to work with Clay, how to work with N8N, how to work with Phantom Buster, all of that, and build automations yourselves. There is a lot of education on the internet. Of course, if you would be interested to talk to us, maybe even tell us, okay, so here is my pipeline of customers or potential customers. What can I sell them? Can you guys help me to come up with 5 automations for all of my customers? And can we deliver this next week? Then you can talk to us, and I believe we might have something for you that that is for a transparent fixed cost every month. Good. Good, good, good. So I was not looking at the questions. So do we have any questions, Tom?
Yes,
Uh,
we have a question.
Let me. AI calling.
Yeah, we can start. Are you planning to add AI calling too? At this moment, I will be fully honest. It's somewhere to support also normal cold calling from our platform, also the AI calling. But at this moment, we are focusing more to introduce more different workflows that basically start working from day number one and is able to generate the value. But the AI calling, it's really tricky because we are
Mhm.
based here in Europe, and comparing to US, there is any phone number directories and etc. So it is in a plan, but basically near future is more focused to the workflows and
I actually want to try it for ourselves. And once we see how it works, we might reconsider. But honestly, not that many people are asking. Feel more like actually, I have the feeling that we have maybe too much AI sometimes, and people want to have transparency. They want to know what's going on. So it really depends. Like I would just do it, but we have some big brands that are really afraid that the AI will say something that they don't want, and yeah, so we don't have that much demand for AI calling yet. But I believe it's exciting opportunity as well. But yeah, sometimes you should not run or to try all the new shiny things, and focus on something that companies really want. Many of them are just working with spreadsheets, so you can you can do a lot of things with that.
second question, who are your direct competitors? Here, I will be the honest.
Mhm.
The near competitor is a Lemlist, but they choose a little bit different approach with the data. We are focusing more likely to live data and to connect everything into the workflow, but they choose basically more likely the database approach. So basically they have a in a product database like Apollo, and you can choose contacts and personalize basically those people. After that, there is many competitors in same field. The lead generation field is really crowded, but they are usually doing some part, and in my opinion, if I should begin the lead generation agency and lead speaker is not on the market, I will start looking into the clay, and I will start looking into the N8N. That's the best possible solution how to build and how to basically start lead generation agency from the
Yeah,
scratch.
I agree. I would also say like Heyreach is very close, but they do own the LinkedIn. But I like the API, and if we, the thing is that if they would exist before we started developing it, then we would just just pay them. I think it goes like $800 per month, and you can get, I don't know, 50 lead. So we got inspired here with our business model for agencies to fix the cost. So you can just keep bringing customers. I would say, like, really, if you are very technical, depends on what you want to build. If you want to build something very specific, then I would start with clay. But we realize that 80% of the workflows are kind of more or less the same, and you can always customize the message, the AI columns, the classification, many things. But what we struggled with was the maintenance, and we are big fans of N8N. We still have like hundreds of automations running, but we had to build this properly, so some of the complicated automations that run every day will not break, and will not be that difficult
At, uh,
to maintain. We have question from Eva
maybe
regarding
maybe
LinkedIn.
I will take
Mhm.
it. Cool stuff, guys. Thank you for that. How to integrate with N8N? At this moment, in the N8N, we have basically you can integrate us normally via API, and I didn't know about your robots feature. Do they work with N8N or do they replace it? We just replace it. Basically, the workflows from N8N normally to hard-coded workflows, because in terms of a scale for us, it is better to code it. But as we mentioned, how we start collaborating with still more and more agencies, we have few partners that basically where we discussing that we open some of their N8N workflows as a robot directly into their white labeled platform. So basically, their clients will find out between our robots also their workflows that they created. So
Like,
that's
maybe like the story here is that after building hundreds of N8N workflows, we realized that some of them could be set up with 3 clicks, and so that's why we build it, and we just call it robots because people understand that robot is something automated, and it sounds cool. So still using N8N, when there is a new workflow that we want to test it out, we are actually starting to do it with low code using, of course, some of our APIs when possible. And if we see that it's something that is useful for many partners, then we just add it into 3 click setup, because there is something that there's something that makes sense to customize, but there are these maintenance and infrastructure things that are just unstable with low code.
uh,
Okay.
Lemlist and its founder have been banned from LinkedIn. What are you going to do? Basically,
But
at
they've
this
been they keep been bannings from since we know them, right? So this founder, this G, or how they call him, Gillam, they called him the Veed of LinkedIn. So they always banned him because of, I think it was Lemworm, like this
Lampot,
artificial
the
Lampot,
first,
sorry, Lampot artificial engagement. So they've been, yeah, I think they've been yeah.
but at this moment, he has the profile on LinkedIn, also the Lemlist working properly. The last week or in last 2 weeks, there was a band Apollo, but I heard the rumors that they should be back in next 70 days, and so.
And also we got some insights that the problem there was that the front end of Apollo was very unsecure. So everybody knows that they are scraping LinkedIn and reselling the data for cheap. But the,
And
the real problem was that it
they
was so easy to leak the data from Apollo, and what actually happened recently. So they had to do something about that. So I believe they're right now working on the redesign of the front end to make it more secure, because there was just too many companies that sell you Apollo data for a few dollars, and I believe it's actually a good direction. Uh, we have question. What type of agency requests are considering for you outside your scope or too small? Uh, oh, actually, we have even very small agencies like freelancers. Uh, Somebody who we have even agencies that are just starting off, and they want to make sure that they just pay a few $100 to to have everything what they need and let their customers to pay for this. So I don't really. So we are working right now with very small, even very small freelancers, and right now we also are in talks with actually two huge partners. They would potentially get like 25,000 licenses and white label it directly into their platform, and one local CRM. They have like 21,000 users. So there are some big ones, but it's it's a longer run. But makes sense for us, and I recommend to all of you to try to figure out what is the customer segment that sticks the most. And we realized that it's so just for us is agencies, CRM integrators, sales consultants, and basically anybody who is not using the tool as a campaign tool for themselves, but somebody who is using it more like an operation tool that is delivering value for their customers, on a daily basis. And I believe this will help us to grow further.
And in terms of running lead generation agency itself, I highly recommend to focus on the recruitment companies,
Mm.
because we've seen that basically the recruitment companies are really great customers, because they just reaching out the job post manually, but you are able to automate that, and basically they will stick with this solution for a long time, because they still need to sell, because they find someone, and they just need to find a new client to finding next candidates. And for some threshold, when you reach out the whole market, there is again really nice benefit that you can basically stop to sending totally automating the sequence, but tracking the manually their customer base, or the people that you reach out previously, if they are searching for, and sending them notification. So that means, for example, in first 2 3 months you reach out all the potential clients for the market, but you can sending them the notifications into Slack chat. For example, here lead speaker just opened another position, and you already help him hire the front end developer 2 months ago, or something just like that. So that
Yeah, I can maybe. So we are actually 2 minutes over time, but I can maybe quickly show you how the notifications, some of them look like when integrated. So I'll show you how we are sending signals. Uh, Quickly move this here. So we're usually sending it to Slack or Google Chat. So this is our Google Chat, and yeah, instead of spamming people all over the place, you can get. So this is from yesterday. So you can get every day couple of signals that people from our CRM system just launch new product or service, so you can reach out at the right time. Or we have signals like, yeah, announcing of launch of new product. Or yeah, we did a lot of startup scouting actually for accelerators. So that's why one of our signal is that they are looking for startups, because this is what we did a lot in past. So this is what we very often recommend to somebody who just doesn't like sending emails or spamming people, or doesn't have that that big market. So instead, then we can just monitor them, and you can look at the post, you can click and email the author, so the email gets pre-filled from CRM and things like this. Uh, so I think for this particular workflow, we even made a resource with added code and everything, so you can just copy paste it and make it work for you. So if you would be interested in this one, just let us know, and we can direct you on the right YouTube video. And we have, yeah, it's one of the resources that we've been sending on LinkedIn. So happy to show you that.
We have another interesting question. Do you
Mhm.
advise other agencies to transform into tech companies? Here, I have a basically little bit longer answer. I highly recommend to at least implement into operation the Stripe, because the payment upfront, or half payment upfront before you start doing the job for the client is much better than to wait for the invoice. So that's the first part that you should consider as an agency. And after that, you need to be careful about the headcount. The agency business is really good, but you need to basically be focused fully on an agency, and you just need to automate. You just need to thinking basically most of the processes to automate. Do not hiring people again and again, because we we had an issue that for everything we just looking for the people. But when you start building the agency from a scratch, and basically you start automating most of the things, and you find out how to generate the value for clients and how to keep the clients, the agency business can be really great. And you don't need to overthinking to become the tech company. But be careful, you just need to consider every hire that you plan if you really need that, because the new hiring increasing the costs, and some type of a agency business is a still seasonal. So you need to keep this in a mind and plan with that. And to much better is automate some processes than to hire new person into agency. After that, are you free for very quick chat after the webinar, Vlasky? I have a few questions. Okay.
Yeah. I will. Thanks a lot. I'll DM you on LinkedIn. Need to hit the road right now and pick up the kids, but I'll be available in a few hours. So we can have a call from car, or just book something for Monday. Let's discuss this over LinkedIn. So I think, well, the time is over. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining. We still have 14 people listening, which is pretty good. So thanks a lot for coming. I hope this was helpful. You found something what we did wrong and what we did right. So I hope this might motivate you. Thank you, Tom, for co-hosting this with me. And yeah, we would like to also invite you to our next webinars. So follow us on LinkedIn. We might send you invitation to the next ones. Next ones will be definitely with some partners of ours on different topics. So stay tuned, and yeah, enjoy the weekend.
And we wish you all the best into your agency business, and finger crossed. So see you guys and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.